Hey, it's 28 millimeter RPG. Rick here. And I was just watching Professor Dungeon Master Dungeon Craft, and it's interesting thing that he brought up that virtual tabletops are not going to take over the world. Of course not. Um, I know I've been using a virtual tabletop, and for one particular reason, it allows me to present the game on YouTube a lot more better, a lot more gooder. And the thing is, a lot of my friends aren't in my vicinity as well. Sure, I can have a game here with Spencer and Josh and maybe Max and maybe a few other people to pop in. I could do that, but the ability for me to show kind of everybody on camera is kind of hindered in that way. Although I could do it, I could go ahead and put together a bunch of, I got a few more webcams here that I have that I can go ahead and do that. And we could do that. However, I'd be missing out on having, say, somebody like Gordo, or like in the future having GM Fritz come on and play with us, or somebody else. And that's the problem, is not being able to have the game with everybody like that I would normally want. There's some YouTubers out there that, sure, I would love to have them join up in a game. The secret to using the virtual tabletop is, I found, and I find it's a lot more easier, a lot more relaxed for me, is to not use every gizmo that the virtual tabletop gives you. All you need to do is use the character sheets, which are fine. They're nice. They're already set up to go ahead and click on the attributes to make an attribute roll or any kind of attack roll. It'll add all your numbers together for you. And for me, I could go ahead and say, yeah, I'm going to give you an extra +1 or whatever. And I can do that right on the fly. No problem. Although it's not like rolling real dice. Yeah, you may have issues on that. But it's still just basically a random number generator that you would be using normally anyways, except you're using your hand to roll the dice. This one, you can shake it. You can take the mouse and shake your dice and roll them on the thing, or you can just click the button. One or the other, both will work. The other thing is not to get board gamey with your play style. If that's what you're trying to do, is emulate the old school theater of the mind. Stop using all the maps. Sure, you could do the fog of war thing or whatever and reveal a map, but the thing would be not to put actual miniatures down on the map, and that way you get rid of that gamey component. Because I hate having the board game go too board. I hate having the role playing game turn into a board game. I try to keep away from that as much as possible. I do it occasionally in a combat situation for like Castles and Crusades. Maybe you want to portray the area a little bit better. And sure, it's for me, it's easy to just draw out the dimensions of the thing on my Chessex map, and quickly we designate where the miniatures are, and that can be cool. However, most of the stuff will be theater of the mind anyways. And on the virtual tabletop, I do tend to keep more now on the theater of the mind end of things. I'll show a picture of maybe the room or something and indicate where that enemy is. And then as far as everybody else is concerned, theater of the mind, is going to take over. If we have to go ahead and designate where the location of a person is, I mean, sure, you can do that. It's what we would do anyways on a regular tabletop as well, where you'd put an eraser down, say that's where this dude is, and then you take a die and you go ahead and plunk it down. That's where this guy is. Same thing, you know. A lot of times you end up doing that just to go ahead and get everybody's head into where everybody is in the combat situation. Sometimes you have to do that, even in the theater of the mind kind of spectrum. But you try to keep away from it as much as possible. Otherwise, it gets too board gamey. You got 5-foot move, and you got your short turn. You got your whatever turns, or don't you're just gonna gum up the session. You erase the flow of the game that way. Where theater of the mind will go ahead and take over for a lot of that. You don't have to get board gamey. Oh, if you want to get board gamey, fine. It's there's games out there. D&D 5e is a board gamey game. 1.5 is more board gamey as well. Same with 4. And there goes my light. Okay, but we're still on. We are still good. We are in the mood now to play. The thing is, you can play board gamey stuff if you want to be board gamey. That's all right. Let me go ahead and put on a little bit of light here. There we go. Ooh. So you can be as board gamey as you want, as long as that's what everybody else is aiming for. But if you want to play it theater of the mind and the traditional way, more of that, cool. I knew that there was a lot of old school groups that would use, a lot of miniatures and stuff like that. We did not. There was very few times that I would pull out a miniature and say, okay, this is where we are. This is where this is. Every once in a while, it might be a dice or something that would kind of give a brain, a brain, what would it be called? Collective idea that everybody would be on the same page instead of, one person thinking they're someplace else or whatever. That way it becomes more, fluid, and everybody's like, oh, okay, I see where everybody is. I don't have to ask the question, where is so-and-so? Where is this? Where is that? It's already in front of you. So that I find that does help in certain situations, but we're not playing it like move here, move there, blah, blah, blah. We're just like, okay, I move to attack, and you play it out. Go ahead and move that dice closer to the eraser monster, and that's the way it would go. That way, tactically wise, if somebody's using a fireball, well, there's no excuse. You're in that radius, so you're gonna get hit as well too. So there's nobody going, well, I was away, but you were attacking the monster. You get away from that. And usually, if players are playing that way and arguing that, oh, they can attack but run away and all this other stuff, well then, you shouldn't be playing with them anyways. So keep people that kind of use a little bit more of a sense of physical reality in their gaming, unless they have wings on their boots and that's what they're doing, is they're dive bombing and running away. Sure, then then that's a thing, and then they wouldn't be in that radius, right? So it does cut down on a lot of those kind of arguments. Having a little bit of realization in a combat situation once in a while. But most mundane kind of, theater of the mind kind of stuff, you can go through. And same with the virtual tabletop. Just, stop pulling up maps or having to make maps and all that kind of stuff. You're just dragging yourself into into a place where you gotta have a map for everything. Gotta have this, you know, you gotta pull up this, you gotta make that. It's so much more work. Just go ahead, write everything down on in your book. You know, I have a book here. That's all I'm using. I'm not using any notes in the virtual tabletop or anything like that. I'm just writing crap down, and I sort through my notes at the end of the session and decide what I'm keeping, what I'm getting rid of, because that doesn't pertain to the, you know, situation anymore, and I don't have to worry about it. So I clean up my notes and keep on going, and it works for me, and it makes the session go much more faster than having to plot everybody out on the board and then worrying about, you know, making sure all the rolls are good and all this stuff, and driving yourself crazy doing that. Where on the virtual tabletop, if you're doing that, it's going to soak up a lot of time where you could be actually playing out the game and actually enjoying the role-playing experience instead of, you know, playing a board game. So that's my, I guess, how many minutes? Probably, yeah, that's my 10 minutes of 2 cents worth of stuff for you to soak in. Hope it kind of helps. Or, yeah, sure, it's probably a little rambly, but, you know, I have to get out a lot. I don't write stuff down when I want to talk about things right off the bat. This is going into my, once again, GM diary, I guess, and yeah, basically stuff to think about. And hopefully you can take away something from it and maybe adapt it to your own game situation with a virtual tabletop. Because, you know, when you got to use a virtual tabletop, I mean, it's because your friends aren't around. They're like, you know, 4 hours away drive kind of idea, which Dave is. Dave's 4 hours away. I can't have him pop into Grand Prairie and play while he's in Edmonton. And, you know, Spencer's is close by, Josh is close by, so Max is close by, other people, yeah, sure, I can get them in. I've got a couple other guys I've been talking to at the game store saying, hey, come on over and check out my place. And, you know, I've got my basement hobby room, you know, already set up to play something, and we can play a game there. I gotta go switch out that light because it went out. So anyways, talk to you guys later. Hope this wasn't a waste of time of your last 13 minutes. Hopefully it was something that you could use. You guys take care. Thanks again for tuning in, and if you feel like, subscribe, because even though if I reach that 1,000 subscribers, I'm still not going to go ahead and monetize this channel, because I hate the rules of YouTube, and I'd rather make money by, you know, working. So, and this isn't work. This is my hobby. So, no pressure on me. I just post whenever I feel like it. Take care, guys. Bye.